Hi everyone! So, if you've been on the internet recently, you have probably seen the Cats trailer. They're making a movie based off of Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical. And if there's anything that you need to know about me, it's that I personally love felines and anything that felines do and anything that has to do with felines. This mug from my sister as a birthday gift. These books that I won in a giveaway from HarperCollins. I love cats. I love felines. I love everything that has to do with those creatures that go meow, including the musical by Andrew Lloyd Webber. I have been a huge fan of the musical ever since I was a child. I annoyed my mother with it to no end. Every time I went to the library, if it was on the shelf, I would take it home with me and watch it on repeat. That was probably the first musical I ever loved outside of, Beauty and the Beast. So, over the years, I've gotten pretty good at explaining what the plot of Cats is. Because a lot of people look at it and they're like, okay, I see a lot of pretty dancing, a lot of really cool singing, some pretty epic costumes, but what on earth is happening? And to those people, I want to explain what is happening in the plot. Essentially, you have a band of cats. They're strays, house cats, whatever. They're a bunch of cats who live in the streets of London, and they are the Jellicle tribe. So this is a musical based off of a book of poems about a bunch of different cats, and different types of cats. And then in the musical by Andrew Lloyd Webber, there is essentially a ceremony to pick a cat that will be reborn. So every year, all of these cats get together. They're led by their leader, Old Deuteronomy. Here's a picture of him. Old Deuteronomy, you'll see this cat. He's very important. He is their leader. He is the one who chooses who is worthy to be reborn and get another set of 9 lives. So the entire plot, all of the cats that you see sung about and that you read poems about, they're all auditioning, essentially. It's them all trying to convince Old Deuteronomy as to why they should be the one to be reborn. That's the goal. That is the end game in this musical, okay? Put extremely simply, that's the goal. This whole thing gets complicated and the conflict comes in outside of just normal cats fighting over who gets to be the next person to be reborn. The whole thing is complicated because McCavity wanted for everything the best criminal ever to walk the earth. He steals Old Deuteronomy. He kidnaps him, he takes him away, and now without their leader to choose who would go next, all of the cats are in disarray, and they're all confused that their most important leader has been taken by the worst criminal in the cat world. And so you get that going on as they're all still waiting, because there's a deadline. Dawn is coming. Dawn is when Old Deuteronomy is supposed to choose who will go up to the Heaviside Lair, okay? Which is essentially cat heaven and where they can be reborn into another cat. They bring in Mr. Mistopheles, a magical cat. Here's his picture. He comes in and helps by magicking Old Deuteronomy back. I don't know exactly how his magic works, but he does a magic trick, and Old Deuteronomy is now back. So yay! The ceremony is saved, they can keep going, they keep auditioning, they continue on as they were, and eventually, if you watch through the end of the musical, you'll remember a cat who had probably the best sob story of them all. She's named Grisabella, the glamour cat. She used to be glamorous, but clearly now she's not. She lost all of her esteem, and she's now essentially a homeless person on the streets. Speaking of cats, my cat is coming. Come here, Romeo! Kitty. Can you say hi to YouTube? Hi, YouTube! Grisabella the glamour cat is taken and she's selected to be the cat in the Heaviside Lair by old Deuteronomy, who takes pity on her. And that is essentially the end of the musical. You have a few key players. You have old Deuteronomy, who I talked about. You have Mr. Mistopheles, who I talked about. You have each individual cat who gets a song, and they're auditioning to be the cat who is reborn. You get Grisabella, who is eventually reborn, and you have Monk Goose Trap, who is the narrator, essentially, in the musical. Monk Goose Trap is the audience's guide to the Jellicle world. Are you a Jellicle cat, Giddy? Romeo, are you a Jellicle cat? What do you think? Those are the most important pieces to understanding Cats the Musical. As the movie comes out, I hope that they are able to make the plot a little bit more clear, possibly. If people can get over the whole CGI cat thing that's happening there. And I hope that now, if you ever choose to go watch Cats the Musical, you'll have a better understanding of the plot and what's going on, and you'll understand better why it's such an interesting art form and a way of storytelling that isn't normally used in musicals, which makes it a little bit trickier if you're not used to it, but it does also make it an easier way. It's an interesting way to tell a story. So, if you like this video or you have any other questions about Cats the Musical that you would like me to try to answer, please let me know and I will do my best to answer them. If not, I will see you next week, back to talking about the normal things that I talk about, although this is a pretty normal thing in my life, talking about cats and stories and explaining things. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helps make things make sense, and I will see you next week. Until next time, bye. Kitty, can you say bye to YouTube? Bye, YouTube. Bye, YouTube.